All right, we need to graph and solve this polynomial inequality. And in order to do that, first we have to have it equal to 0, which it is, smiley face. And then we have to factor it. Okay, so my two factors are going to go here. Factoring a trinomial. So this is a trinomial that does not begin with 1, begins with a 4. So if you want to do the trial and error method, then it's going to be, 2x and 2x, or maybe it's 1x and 4x, or maybe it's 4x and 1x, and the other two numbers would be 3 and 5 to get you the 15, right? And you could sit there and you could guess them forever. I always do the AC method, the cool way to do it. If I label these coefficients A, B, and C, I come over here and I do the AC method, and that's going to be factored by grouping. So A times C is 4 times 15. Let's see, 4 sets of 15, 15 and 30, and double that to get 60. All right, and then we list any pairs that would give us 60. 1 and 60, 2 and 30, 3 and 20. Does 4 work? 4 and 15, 5, 6 and 10. I don't think 7, 8, or 9 work, and then I'm back to 10. I'm looking for one of these pairs to give me the middle term of 17. Okay, so do you see it? All right, here it is, 3 and 20. So if you need some work on the AC method, you can go find some videos on factoring the AC method, or factoring with a leading coefficient not 1. So let me do the factoring down here. I'll do it in blue. 4x squared plus 17x minus 15. All right, I am going to split up my middle term. It's now going to be minus 3x plus 20x. Okay, that gives me a positive 17. Drop down my 4x squared and drop down my minus 15 in the back. Now I like to use the Superman colors, blue and red. When I look at the blue group, the blue group in the front, what is a common factor I can take out? Greatest common factor is going to be just an x. I'll factor that out in front of those two. That'll be 4x minus 3. Very important, always drop down this sign, plus. Okay, I usually use a yellow or a orange for that. And what can I take out of the red group? Okay, what do they have in common? 20 and 15, that's going to be a 5. And I will be left with x minus 3. I'm sorry, I'll be left with a 4x minus 3. Okay, 5 times 4 is 20. All right, you know what I did? I looked, I said, this needs to match this. It didn't match, so I found my mistake. Are these two the same? Yes. Does that make me happy? Yes, because they have to be the same. All right. Now I can take the two things underlined in purple and I can take them out in the front. All right, so I take that way out in the front, 4x minus 3, and what's left over? All right, this one would be gone and this one would be gone. I'm taking them and I'm bringing them way out here, right? And what am I left with? X plus 5. All right, so 4x minus 3 times x plus 5. All right, here's my factors. Let's go put them back into here. 4x was 4x and 1x. 15 was 3 and 5. 4x was a minus 3. X was a plus 5. Okay, all that work just to factor it. Now, we set both of our factors here equal to 0, because if this was 0, the whole thing's 0. And if this one's 0, the whole thing's 0. So I'm going to have 4x minus 3 equals 0. And I'm going to have x plus 5 equals 0. And that's going to give me zeros of, let's solve, add 3 to both sides to get 4x equals 3, divide both sides by 4, and x equals 3/4. Over here, subtract 5 from both sides, x equals -5. All right, these are my two zeros. Okay, so on the number line, when I go to look on a number line, it's going to be -5 and 3/4. Okay, so if I want to find out the good part and the bad part, I can test some points in between, but this problem wants me to graph it. Okay, I know that a squared is a parabola, and since this first term is positive, it's going to be a smiley face, and so my graph is going to look like, I need a little more space, let me make some more space. It's going to look like a smiley face going through those 2 points. Okay, this question is multiple choice, so if you find the one with the 3/4 and the -5, you'll be good. -5, 3/4, and here's my parabola. Okay, smiley face. So when you go back and you look at the question, so you can find this through multiple choice. Okay, right there. When you go back and you look at the question, and it says, when is this greater than or equal to 0? Well, look at the graph. When is it greater than or equal to 0? This part and this part. And at these 2 points right here, if it's greater than or equal to, then these are included. Okay, they're not open circles, they're going to be part of my solution. So let's do this in interval notation. I'm going to make some space over here on the right. Get rid of that. All right, interval notation. Look at the red. It's everything from -∞, comma, to -5. That's my first interval. -5 is included, so I get a bracket right here. And it's in union with my next interval, which is everything from 3/4 to infinity. Okay, now, the other way to find this graph, other than finding those 2 points, is to go to an online graphing calculator. Okay, go to Google, look up online graphing calculator, and you're going to type in this 3-term polynomial there, that trinomial, and it's going to show you this smiley face. There's one on Desmos. That's usually the one that I use. Go to Desmos. Type that in, you'll see the smiley face, okay? But we know how to do it without having to use an online graphing utility. All right.